my question is
So,
pretty simple.
so
I think you will find when
if
you
you've been
finally
watching the
leave
news,
this
you probably know
chamber that you have done something
that
extraordinary,
Cory
that you didn't
Booker
solve the problem,
is
that
currently
we are still a long
hosting
ways from being
the
able to
longest
successfully beat back this retreat, but that
filibuster.
you have accomplished something extraordinary. And so I guess that's just my
So
question.
there's
We
no
got
specific
When you
legislation.
set
Mr. B
out
talking about it, my
with this
favorite
idea,
YouTuber.
when
It's
this was
still
starting
going
to
on like
germinate in your mind,
right now, which is pretty crazy if you
my
ask
question
me.
for you, Senator Booker, is
Alright,
what did you hope to accomplish?
right now he's at
I
number
thank my
3,
colleague and my friend
which is
again.
crazy.
He and I
But
talked about this, that I was
that's
challenged
not
by my
the
own
current
constituents to do
focus.
something
Well,
different,
it is,
challenged
but
by my own
I'm also
constituents
gonna
to
be
do
playing Tom
something,
Salem because
challenged
why
by
have
my
I
own
not?
constituents to take risks. My staff here, who
Uh,
should get a lot of credit for
doo
making it
doo
thus
doo.
far, I'm not sitting back,
Wait a minute.
but I'm mindful of what you said about Strom Thurmond.
Oh yeah, screw Strong
I'm
Thurman.
mindful of that right now
Hate that dude.
as I watch that clock tick for another 20 minutes.
No, you should keep going beyond 20 minutes.
I'm grateful for my
Let the
staff. I'm
record
grateful
stand.
for the parliamentarians, the
Let
clerks.
the
I'm grateful for the
record
Republican presiding
stand.
officers. I don't know if I want to out Curtis on the note that I'm sorry, the good senator on the presiding officer, forgive me, on the note he sent me, but this is the kind of specialness in this place that I love.
17,000.
I want to tell a few connecting stories. I think some of my colleagues know a few of these, but I want to explain why I started this whole 24 hours talking about John Lewis and
Nah,
Nick
keep
Crawford.
going. Keep going after 24 hours.
60 years
Make
ago,
it
when he
26
was underwriting
hours.
the Pettus Bridge,
Alright,
he
so the
shook New
name is
Jersey
gonna
as he
be
shook the nation. When Bloody Sunday happened, there was a
Penny,
white guy on a couch
since
in
I
New
have a
Jersey
penny right in front of me. Alright.
who was watching
Oh,
TV and
I better.
was so shaken. This lawyer said, I gotta go to Alabama. He realized he couldn't afford a plane ticket. So this man slumped back down on his couch, and then he said, at a moral moment in America, I'm not gonna let my inability to do everything undermine my determination to do something different. And he got up and said, okay, it was a meager calculation, but it was
So the
different.
role
I
that
can
we
afford
got was
1 hour a month of pro bono work.
investigator,
He
which
called around and he found this woman named
I
Lee
like.
Porter, who was heading up an
I don't
organization
hate
called the
the
Fair
role.
Housing Council, and said, can you use a lawyer? And she's like, hallelujah, thank you, Jesus. Yeah, we need some help. And they worked together and they designed a sting operation where they
Alright, so let's see
would
what's going on.
send
Well,
black
first off,
families in areas of New Jersey that would not sell
Billy
homes to
here,
black
TV
people,
law,
where usually the
Kill
best
9
public
tomorrow.
schools were. And if they were told the house was sold, they'd send a white couple behind them to expose that the house was still for sale and expose all of this. Well, they had a lot of success getting things written about the severe
Alright, so
housing
I'm number
discrimination
3.
in my state.
I'm going to go for the
And he
very
said
first
that for
person
about 5
whose
years.
name I saw, which was Dildo
4
Baggins.
years. I got this case file of a
Grow
black
up,
family trying to
people.
move to New Jersey, and they were frustrated because
Come
every
on.
time they look at homes in the places the best public schools, which happen to be white communities, they said they couldn't find a home. So they did this sting operation. They sent a black couple in. They were told this incredible house was not for sale. They loved the house, so when the white couple went, they just threw in a bid to see if it would be accepted. The bid was accepted. Papers were drawn up on the day of the closing. The white couple did not show up. The black man did.
Very
Lawyer
interesting.
Marty Friedman
Very, very
marched in
interesting.
front of the real estate agent. You would think 1969, a year after the Fair Housing Act, that he would capitulate, but he didn't. This lawyer gets up so angry, this real estate agent gets up so angry, he punches the lawyer in the face and sings a Doberman Pinscher on the black guy.
What?
They get out of there, shaken up, and they start writing
What is
letters
he
back
talking
and forth.
about?
The good owners of the home.
I know
found
he's
out
been
what's going
awake
on.
for
They
24
were
hours straight, but
aghast. They
Jesus,
said, let us sell
man.
the house directly to the black
Bro, I
family.
bet you after
The black
this, he's gonna
family
take like the biggest shit
moved
ever.
in.
He is holding in a
43
lot.
years later, the
I
baby
was
from
gonna be
that
asleep
family
for like 24 hours too.
became the
Longest
fourth
sleep.
popularly elected black senator
How are we
in
killing
our
that?
country, me. Now, I tell that story because I started with John Lewis 24 hours ago, and it was John Lewis and a bunch of marchers on a bridge that influenced the destiny of my life and my family's life. We're all interconnected.
jailer.
As King says, we're all caught in an inescapable network of mutuality, tied in that common garment of destiny. But I want to tell you the second time. John Lewis shook up my life. I was
Oh
nervous
yeah,
in the
John
room,
Lewis is the GOAT.
and I got called to be on a TV show. I got called by a guy named Skip Gates, who I love, admire, and he calls me,
Good
he
civil
jazzes me
rights
up, he fills my
activist,
ego,
like that
he
guy.
just flatters me. Hey, I got this show called Finding Your Roots, Cory Booker, and you're a
Alright.
rising star. You're this hot shot. We should feature you in this. And I'm like, oh, great. Oh,
No,
sorry. Oh, don't
I'm
say
not.
that.
No.
Skip, but okay,
Listen,
yeah,
I
of
like
course.
VFR, but I'm not doing that crap.
And then I said, okay, well, who are you going to pair me with? And I thought it was going to be another young hotshot, up-and-coming politician in America. No, he goes, I'm going to pair you with John Lewis. And my heart sank a little bit. Actually, maybe it was my ego that sank. My heart got excited because I know how these shows start. They start with biographies. And so imagine the show starting. John Lewis.
Just
Hero
like
of
we're
the
on the
civil
same
rights movement.
page.
Literally
People
bled
who
the
like
southern soil red for freedom and justice. And then it goes
like
to my
make their
biography.
entire character
Cory Booker,
in this game
riding his big wheel in
center
suburban
around
New Jersey.
gimmicks, stupid
The
gimmicks
show
like this.
was unbelievable.
Nah, don't lose it, bro.
Mountains
You
and
already
hills.
lost the game, even if
But I
you
got to
win
meet John Lewis.
as you roll.
I got to tell him that
Was
story.
that poetic enough for you?
But he
I
changed
hope
my
it
life,
was.
and I didn't
This
even
is
know it.
X,
On a bridge
it's
in
not
Alabama
X.
changed the course of events in New Jersey that led to me. Third take on John Lewis.
This is a troll, you idiot.
My
You
colleagues know I got
idiota.
him a special election in 2013. What all my colleagues might not know is I came here.
I
with a
hate
broken
my
heart.
role,
Mom
so I
and
got
came here
hung.
with a broken heart because I was elected
Okay.
in October, sworn in October, but also in October my dad died of Parkinson's. That's why I got choked up
Rest in peace.
reading these letters from people with Parkinson's. And so we
I
came
mean,
down here
anyone
and we were
would.
grieving. My dad was not with us. My mom lost her husband of nearly 50 years. And I'm going to get sworn in. It's a big event. But my parents and my campaign decided, you know what we should do? Right before you get sworn in or brought over here to be escorted to the president, vice president, that you should go and sit with John Lewis. And so we went to John Lewis's office, and a lot of my colleagues from the CBC, a lot of my colleagues from the House,
I need to stop zoning out. Alright, so did I vote it innocent because of course he forgot it, and I forgot to post this yesterday.
He's in all the pictures.
I don't know, that good person's fine. Nah,
And this
bro.
is John Lewis. We knew him.
Nah.
This was him.
I
That was
mean,
a man
I
who
might
had
say the
already
same thing as
prepared
Medium, but
eggs and
I
grits,
don't know,
good
I don't
Southern
buy
breakfast,
that.
and wouldn't let my mom and I get up. And he serves us
Yeah.
all. And he humbly is saying, this is why I marched. This is why I sacrificed for history-making days like this. He told us how special this was for him. He told me that he would be right here where my friends are sitting, watching me get sworn in, and how proud he was going to be. In a sense, he stood in for my dad on this floor.
Do do
And
do
boom,
do do.
I'm senator.
What
I
a
find
sad
colleagues and
story.
friends here, and I find a lot of colleagues and friends in the CBC. At that point, I was the only African American in our caucus, and found so many friends, so many heroes that have gone up from the Senate now, who looked at me, adopted me, helped me. Dick Durbin, you were amazing in those early months. And this is the next time I meet John Lewis for a moment that changed my life. Chris Murphy, Brian Schatz, remember this moment? It was during the 2017 healthcare
Yo,
debate.
are you serious?
When I didn't
Why
know
are
how
you
we were
dead?
gonna
Did you
stop that
leave?
bill from passing and taking away 20 million healthcare from 20 million Americans. But John Lewis, hey Cory, let's do something different. What you got in mind? And I said, well, John Lewis, I got this phone. It's very powerful. Let's do a Facebook Live. And so I opened it up, Facebook Live. We meet in between in the Capitol, and then he says, hey, where can we go to sit down for a place? And I love it. It's my favorite place to sit. I watch Schoolhouse Rock so much. It's right on the steps of the Capitol. Let's just sit there and talk. Chris Murphy, Brian Schatz, first people out to sit with us. And the time lapse is amazing. First 2-3 people, then 10 people, then 50 people, then hundreds
Okay,
of people. I have
cool.
it all
Get 4, then 11.
coming because of the moral magnetism of this man, John Lewis. And he talked to people that night who were looking for what can
I don't
do?
give
I'm just one
I don't
person.
give a shit.
And this guy who in his 20s was just one person and caused a heck of a lot of good trouble. He told them, don't lose faith, don't lose hope. Get angry, but
Don't bother this
be
big
afraid,
deal.
but know that's a necessary precondition
Oh
to
wow.
courage.
I
He
wonder
was
why you're
amazing that
not
night. I
on
know
the
my colleagues
TV
remember
claim.
that. And then there was the next time.
I wonder why you're not on the TPLO request.
Oh,
What could that be?
Warnock, you're gonna love this one. The next time I was with
Bro
John
said,
Lewis,
did bro bring up
Jimmy
Raphael
Carter had gotten a
Warnock?
little sick. But then he got better and went back to
Not
teaching
me, at
Sunday
least
school.
get
And I thought, this
dude,
man is
shut
in
up.
his 90s. I need to go to Sunday school. And so who do I know? Because there's a waiting line. It's like people sleep out all night. I might have been a little selfish. How do I know I can get in?
I mean, they already know they
John
lost. They're
Lewis.
both mafia.
I say, hey, I got this
Thanks.
great idea.
Ah, shit.
Sunday school. So I have the
Damn.
singular
Dude,
greatest
that
road
is the
trip.
third
I
time
fly to
today.
Atlanta, we get
Okay,
into a
cool.
car, and we drive
No,
all those hours to
X11
Plains, Georgia.
tonight.
Indeed, people were waiting outside, but it's John
Yeah,
Lewis.
I don't give a
Come on
fuck.
in. We sit in the front row. I
You're
must be in the front row.
rude.
And we sit down, and then this marvelous, incredible moment comes. Somebody comes and says, Congressman Lewis, Senator Booker, the president, First Lady would love to see you beforehand.
Whatever, bro.
First time meeting President
Whatever,
Jimmy
bro. I don't give a shit.
Carter. I walked out sort of on the sidelines. These two men are hugging each other.
Yeah, it probably would have been a
He and the
smart
First
idea.
Lady.
Dude, how many times am
Two of
I
them
gonna
whisper for a
get
second, and Jimmy
directly
Carter walks over to
screwed
me and says,
by just if
"Are
you were
thinking
here
about
for
running
the
for president of the United
last
States?"
live stream, you
He does something
which is
incredible.
nobody, but if you were here
He
for
says,
the
"I think
last
you should
live
run, but only
stream,
if
you
you run."
probably
It pokes my
like
heart
well
every
aware
time from here.
that
The last time
15
of the
Oh,
powerful
that's
moments
right.
I've had in my life with that man, that so many of us have had these powerful moments. The last time
what? I'm
happened
not
because
dead.
of
Wow.
a man named Michael Collins. I know there are people in this room that got the same phone call I got,
Oh.
that it won't be long now, that John Lewis is going to pass very soon. He can't speak,
Okay.
but I know he would want you to have your moment to say goodbye to him. And what do I do? What do I do? Say goodbye to a man that's a legend in my life.
Oh.
Legend in our nation. What
So
do you do to say
15
goodbye
was
to
a
him? I
and
wasn't
a
there.
random shot,
I can't
but
say I said
15
anything.
was a vigilante.
Michael Collins, God bless
Interesting.
you, man. You put the phone on
Very,
his ear, you
very
just gave me my
interesting.
time.
But we win anyway, so it's not like it
I had a
matters.
conversation with the man that would soon die. The man that changed my life, that helped my family get into a neighborhood that
Thanks,
loved
Justin.
me, cherished me. God love Harrington Park. The man who stood in for my father when heaven brought him home. The man that showed me on the steps of this Capitol how powerful the people are. Wasn't
I was
about him.
between 13
about
and
them.
15.
The man that brought me to see a president who flattered every senator's ego, tell them what they want to hear, run for president. And so I said everything I could, but the last thing I said I remember very well. I said, I love you. I said, I love you. And I said, John, I know you're going to be in heaven looking down on us. And I promise you,
I am
Lewis,
so hesitant. Well,
do
no,
everything
I
possible, that we'll do
want
everything
to
possible
put in poop again,
to make
but nah.
you proud.
I'm not the imposter. It's all in your head.
The civil rights generation is starting to be called home.
Deep rectal
Leaders are leaving
H.
us. We in the CBC have lost a lot
That
of
is not a
leaders.
sentence I wanted to hear today.
And I can't remember forget the
All
promise
right,
I made to
so
John Lewis. With all that he gave me, with all that he gave his country,
nah,
just like I
I'm
said,
not
we would
gonna.
make him proud.
I'm not gonna.
And so this is one of those moments that John Lewis, he would not be sitting still. He would be calling me up and say, you still got that Facebook thing? I go, no, I don't really use Facebook anymore. Well, there's a thing called TikTok or...
Dude, I love it
I don't know what John
when
Lewis would
old
say
people
right
just
now. I
go
know what he said in
TikTok.
2017, but I'll be honest with you, I don't know what he would say. But John Lewis would say something.
Dude, I love how
something. He wouldn't
it's
treat
24
this
hours
moment
and Cory
like
Booker
it was
clearly
normal.
has no
John
idea
Lewis
what
knew
else to
what
freaking
he
say.
said,
Because
that
he's
what
been
we
like up
have
there
to
like
repent
running
for, all
his
of us
ass
here
off
will
for
have to
like
repent
the
for
past
is not
24
just the
hours, 12
vitriolic
minutes,
words
and 3
violent
seconds.
actions of so-called bad people. What
I'm
we
way
will have to repent
too
for
sleepy.
in our day and
to be jailer. Oh,
is the
great.
appalling silence and the inaction of good people. This is our moral moment.
Yep, so
This is when the most
we got a
precious
troll in the
ideas
lobby,
of our country are being
and that's
tested. When
13.
the Constitution and the question is being called, where does the Constitution live? On
Kill
paper
7.
or in our hearts? This is the
Paper.
moment.
Was that the wrong answer?
Generations get them. We're on a crossroads.
Hold on
here,
a
folks.
second.
Healthcare is on the balance. Veterans are on the balance.
Hold it just a
Priorities are on the
second.
balance. Where's our priorities, America? More tax cuts, disproportionately going to the wealthy.
4, heal 7. Wait a minute.
Greater
Because
budget
I might die.
deficits in the trillions and trillions of dollars.
Ah.
Or are
Darn
we going
it.
to do something different like
Well,
John
I'm
Lewis
gonna leave
called
now.
us to do?
Because it's.
He would call
No,
us
it is lame.
get
Woohoo.
into
Alright,
good
next
trouble,
game.
necessary trouble,
Doo doo doo.
save the soul of America. But you all know, John,
Stinky
don't
poopy.
hate each other. Don't let anybody pull you so low as to hate them. I said this about the presiding elder. Different parties, but he
It's
showed me
changed
that
so
kindness
much.
during this speech.
Yeah.
talked about energy
You,
policy.
you,
There's
you
amazing
say what you
ideas. I
want
wanna
about whether
partner
or
with you.
not
Don't
it's
hate
changed for the
anybody.
better or worse, but
Did
the
the
time
folks
Sam
in
was definitely
Birmingham,
changed.
Martin Luther King, Fred Shuttlesworth,
I don't know, there's still a lot of
James Bell,
nostalgia.
did they
I
get
got
bigger
from
dogs and bigger
Salem,
fire hoses to match
but overall,
match the sheriff's?
I like
O'Connor,
them.
thank you. I've been standing here a long time.
I do like the mechanics of
They didn't do that.
the newer builds
were
in Thomas
creative
Salem,
artists
but
of
I don't know.
They
As
called to the
mess
conscience of the
as
country. They
unfair
challenged
as
our
some
moral
of the
imagination, not
early
just focus on hate, but focus on what
builds
is
of this
possible
game
in
have been,
America if we
they were
redeem
pretty
the dream,
goddamn
if we dream
nostalgic.
America anew. That generation in their 20s and 30s, that's what they demanded. Martin Luther King didn't go to the March on Washington with a list of grievances against the racists in our country. He went there and called to the conscience of a country. He said he had a dream. That's what we need in our generation.
Cause screw
now.
that,
That's
man.
what we need in our generation. A vision to redeem the dream, to call our country together. Yes, there is a man in the White House who's the most powerful
Why would
man
a
in the
bootlegger
land,
have a drink with some
and his
dude? Who
partner
knows?
is the richest man in the world. But as long as this is a democracy, that we can still protect the power of the people, greater than the
1738.
people in power, if they use their powers.
Alright.
African-American woman Arthur once
So,
said the most common way people give up their power is not realizing
my
they have
name
it
will
in the first
be
place. I've been calling out names, folks, to tell them they have power.
Cotton Swab.
I read the stories of Deanna, of Wendy and Cassie, of Tanya, of Cameron, of Jean, of Susan, of Edna, of Randy, of Dylan.
That's a
of
lot of
Teresa,
names.
Of Pamela, of Sally, of Mike, of Carol. Of
Yeah,
Rosemary,
but they
of
spell
Danielle, of
retarded
Judith, of
wrong.
Elizabeth, of Sandra,
Boo!
Lisa,
How
Maggie,
dare
Laura,
you do that?
Michael, Robin, Mary,
Yay,
Allison,
I'm investigator and not
Ted,
witch because I
Roseanne,
really
Carrie,
do
Samantha,
not like
Dee,
witch.
Raphael, Will, Anthony, Sean, and so many more. I read their stories here because while we were elected, they are the power of our country.
They are the power of two.
Both parties have a lot of mistakes to account for. The ballast of this country, what will anchor us to our ideals.
My God, slow down. The stop sign is right there.
Lift our heads, lift our hopes. What will call us to rise is each other.
I think it's 24 hours and 18. Whoa, what happened? What happened? 2 minutes. Wait, what's going on?
What will call us to rise is each other.
Oh, wait, I need to investigate somebody. You. Come on. Are you kidding me? But, hold on a second. One minute.
The Underground Railroad were Quakers, white folks joined with black folks to shuttle people to freedom.
Dude, he's got 1 minute. Whoa. Actually, I'm gonna focus on this real quick. Night 110 is Share
People together
X
from
Will.
across our country. Let's have a conference. Let's go to Seneca Falls.
He has 1 more minute.
When they face violence,
He has 1 more minute.
who stood up, who pushed back, who organized, who won.
Wow. Wow. No way. Whoa.
Look at what they did.
He did it. He did it.
I'm getting close to a record, folks, but
Getting close to a record. Yeah. 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 He actually did it. This man actually did it. Wow. That's crazy. Yeah. Wow. That's awesome.
Room here in the Senate named after Strom Thurmond.
Screw Strom Thurmond. If I wasn't a broke joke, I would donate right now. Same.
Maybe my ego got too caught up. If I stood here, maybe, just maybe I could break this record. The man who tried to stop the rights upon which I stand. I'm not here, though, because of his speech. I'm here despite his speech. I'm here because as powerful as he was, the people were more powerful. But I remind you, all those people who believe like me that we've got to redeem the dream, turn again to John Lewis, because you all know the story, my colleagues, of when the man that beat him savagely, drew blood, cracked bones.
Wow.
Days later, he was a congressman.
But,
man that brought his grandson
Jesus.
with him.
Oh, crap, I forgot. Whatever. As we seen from last night.
When I was in the car in Georgia with him. What did you do, John? This man that so viciously beat you, wounded you, bruised you, battered you. What did you do when he came to ask you for forgiveness?
Dang.
What did you do?
Let's see what Twitter has to say right now.
Good Christian man.
Let us see what Twitter has to say.
Every one of us needs mercy. Every one of us needs redemption.
Yep, everybody's talking about it.
I hugged him. We wept.
Everybody's talking about it.
This nation needs you too.
Nope, not anymore. Dude, this man needs to keep going. I don't care. This man needs to keep it moving.
Would the senator yield for a question?
Chuck Schumer, it's the only time in my life I
wow.
can say no.
Bro, he needs to keep going until midnight.
Do you know you have just broken the record? Do you know how proud this caucus is of you? Do you know how proud America is of you?
Wow. No, but that's crazy, bro. Oh, crap, I forgot to post. I'm Andy. I know you're Muff. You're NK or Muff. You ain't what? What the hell are you talking about? I am Witch. See ya. He did it. This man did it.
Ladies and gentlemen.
He did it.
Ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen.
Alright, anyway.
Order.
The chair does not wish to take away from this moment, but I think the best way to honor this great accomplishment to our guests in the gallery, to make a rare exception and let you stand to show your appreciation, I will not constrain my fellow senators.
Thank you.
We'll continue to filibuster.
I have yielded for a question, and you asked me, did I know? I know now. I want to not quite wrap this up yet. I don't want to wrap this up yet. My mom's senator. My mom's been watching. I know Catherine Cortez Masto has a podium in front of her. She can give me a rest. I'd like to go a little further if we can, just a little further. I
Evil.
love, and again,
Ever.
I know
Well,
people are trying to train each
I
other.
don't know.
All of our media
Ever.
operations, they give the worst
What the fuck?
images of the people of the other party. But I want to tell you, one of the funny tweets my staff gave me is something Ted Cruz said. Is he's around
11 is
19,
the
20
outed
hours, he said,
witch.
maybe I should pull a
Bruh.
fire alarm. He's going to break my record.
Alright, whatever. Whatever. Wait, what?
I'm going to pause in a moment if she has a question for me
A
to
winch
Catherine Cortez Masto, because she's my mother. But I do want to
Transporter
say
can't
again,
even be
2
affected.
points to make if I can. One
What is
is
bro
how grateful
talking
I am
about?
to my staff. When we decided to do this many
This
days
hasn't been
ago,
updated. This has not been updated, which is crazy.
when we
11.
decided to do this days ago, they were like,
I
"We
know
have
you're
to do
evil.
this."
Kill.
And we started preparing and working on this, and they did an
11
extraordinary
whispered.
job. They were with me late nights, writing. I just feel guilty because they wrote about 10 books of, and we didn't use all
Was
of them.
there a reason to actually
They
hang
were really
this?
substantive stuff, pulling from Republicans and Democrats in critique of this
Is
money,
Mayor
pulling
just
from
throwing the game?
Democrats and Republicans, Republican governors that
Was
were
there a
saying,
reason to
do
vote
not
this?
cut Medicaid. States that know, as my colleagues do, that have a trigger, that if the Medicaid funding goes below 90%, they stop the Medicaid expansion. My staff really worked hard to not make this just Democratic voices, to make it people in our country, that Republicans and Democrats, you heard mentioned the Cato Institute, the Manhattan Institute, all people who are
Well,
honest
so we
arbiters
lose
that are
because
saying
this
that what
mayor's an
Trump
idiot.
is doing is wrong.
But
A budget
back to
like this,
the filibuster.
it blows massive
So
holes
Cory
in our
Booker just
deficit.
passed
It
it.
will be something our children are trying to pay
So
for. What are they
I
all
think
going to
he
pay
should keep
for?
going
This
until
causes
like
big
at least
deficit.
midnight.
It's trillions of dollars of tax cuts that people like Doge,
But
multi-billionaire Musk will
yeah, I'll
benefit
sign
from.
up soon.
But children won't. They did such a good job bringing together authorities on both sides.
48-hour filibuster. Nah, bro.
My cousin Pam, my family, cousin Pam.
Nah, you
Like Chris
tweaking,
Murphy
bro.
was here for the whole time. I want to thank Chris Murphy
Oh wow,
again.
who could have seen that coming? Who could have seen that coming?
Who never stopped telling me we could do this, we can do this, we can do this, and
Nah,
stay with you. He's been
Cory
with me on the
Booker.
floor. I
Cory
hope you don't look as tired as I
Booker.
look, because you look beat, man.
You look beat, man.
Do I look that bad? No.
Man,
All right. I want to go a little bit past this.
man.
I'm going to deal with some of the biological urgencies I'm feeling.
No, keep going for at least like another hour or two.
But
Because if you just leave it there,
I have the power, I have the floor. Somebody has to ask.
yeah,
me,
that's what I'm
perhaps
saying.
my
Because
mom's
if you
state.
if you leave now and someone's just gonna pass it like 5 years, that's gonna be lame.
So will the good senator from New Jersey yield for a question?
My mom would be so upset with me, my Aunt Marilyn, my Uncle Butch, my Aunt Shirley, all the people that are your constituents, not mine. They would be upset with me if I didn't yield to you for a question while retaining the floor.
Yeah, let's go.
Senator Booker, I have to say, we in Nevada are so proud of you. We are proud to be Nevada Strong. You are one of us. You are definitely New Jersey, Nevada Strong, and so proud of what you have accomplished so far, and willing to stay here as long as it takes to help you get your message across. And I think that's the important moment. We are all here right now. So I want to pose a question to you, actually a couple questions, but I want to start off and set the stage here, because you have been here now, for over 24 hours. You are missing some of the national news, things that are happening out there. But one of the things I want to point to that is happening that you may not be aware of, and you touched on it a little earlier today, is this notion that we have now a president who is actually focused on billionaires.
He literally outed himself, and you voted the doctor over this.
One of the things we have watched him do is cut funding for medical research. Now, what you may not know is just today I found out that HHS laid off the entire healthy aging branch of the CDC.
Wow.
This office
I'm done.
administers Alzheimer's
I'm
disease programs,
done.
and it
I'm
oversees the
done. That's
funding
enough
from
time to Salem.
the Board
Nah.
of Infrastructure for Alzheimer's
I'm just
Act, and
playing.
it is a piece of legislation that I was so proud to
Yeah, I
partner
thought
with
this was
Susan
Hypno.
Collins on. And and she has
But
fought for, and we have fought
nope,
for
just
funding for it.
another
Support
classic player.
caregivers and their families. And
But
Congress just reauthorized this
anyway.
funding. And now we have a president that has stopped the
Anyway,
funding to try
we
and cure
are
Alzheimer's.
going
And I
to
bring this to your
play
attention,
maybe like 2 or 3 more
Senator,
Town of
because
Salem games, cause why
like
not?
you,
Did I
and I think like
disconnect?
all of us,
Sweet.
there are personal moments in the work that we do. My
Whee!
personal
Damn.
moment is
Mono
my
chicken
grandmother,
3
who I'm named
minutes.
after,
That's
died from
crazy.
Alzheimer's.
I'm sorry to
She
hear
died
that.
at a time in Las Vegas when there was not enough research, when there was not enough health care, when there were really not enough providers to understand what was going on. And so for
Well,
many
probably
of us, this fight,
every
not only is it personal, but
time
we
he will
recognize
to
the
quit.
impact
Go
that
ahead.
it has
Straw.
outside the Beltway in so many families and lives across the country. And that's what this is about. In Nevada, as of 2023, there are 49,000 people, 65 and older, are living with Alzheimer's. And that's projected to reach 65,000 this year. Not only did we hear that HHS laid off the entire Healthy Aging branch,
Yeah, if you're not used to it, then 24
but Donald Trump
hours
also
of
recently
no
terminated
sleep.
a $14,000
That's a lot.
NIH research grant that had been
Bro,
supporting
healthy
Alzheimer's
people.
research at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas. And he's continued
Yeah,
to
fuck this
cut
game.
the grant for essential research for so many reasons. We've seen these funding cuts, we've seen mass layoffs, and the impoundment of grants that have already been approved by Congress. This is a violation of the rule of law, and you have been talking about that for the last couple of hours. President Trump is forgetting that this is personal. It is happening to so many families.
But nah, 48 hours, you're bugging. You are bugging. 48 hours.
Impacted by Alzheimer's, how they are feeling about what is happening right now.
So this bothers me for two reasons, and the first you've already mentioned is this is the points of bipartisan work that we do. I talked about Chris Murphy and the bipartisan gun bill that lots of people here worked on with Senator Cornyn and others.
We.
And how upset my state is that some of that community violence intervention money that I worked so hard to get in that bill is being clawed back by a president.
Come on.
There are people in this room, I know so many of you, and I know on the other side that have done such great work to work with our colleagues to find common ground and get really important programs passed that bring resources to families. And it's being clawed back by our president, not with consultation, not with a hearing, not with a discussion of even why you would target Alzheimer's research.
Plenty of
That
motives.
is a violation of the separation of
Plenty of motives for
and I wish
wanting
my
to do
Republican
that.
colleagues would hold more hearings about that.
Bro, you know they're not gonna do that. Come on. Be so
Worked with Marco Rubio on some of that
Be so
programs,
freaking
those
for
investments
real.
that are now been cut and clawed back.
It'd make them
So
look
it's the
bad.
separation of powers
And if it
issue,
makes
it's
them
the
look
defense
bad,
of
then they're
common
not
goals that
gonna
we
want to
share
do
in
it.
this
That's just how it
community
works.
of leaders. But the second reason it bothers me is an article I read hours ago by Fareed Zakaria. And he talked about what's happening to a nation that cuts so dramatically what is one of the best taxpayer investment dollars in biomedical sciences. If you're an investor, and I told you there's an investment that every dollar you invest, you would get $5 back for your economy, folks would be invested in that vehicle. Well, that's NIH
Depends.
funding. Every dollar you invest, who would cut a profit center? It's not just a profit center, though. The outcomes, the discoveries, could change the lives of people who are suffering in your nation and around the world.
It could. They just
But
don't
he's
give a
attacking
shit.
them. I read all these universities from around the country. This shows you how magnanimous I'm trying to be. I even read stories from USC. I'm sorry,
USC.
I'm sorry, rival. That all of these universities are cutting their postdocs, cutting their PhDs, cutting the lending because they don't know, as Donald Trump threatens, the direct costs they're stopping. And Fareed Zakaria said so painfully to all Americans with Americans' pride, as we are doing that, China, who, when they had that cultural revolution. They first went after their universities. Now, modern China, their government is doing the opposite. They're trying to out-America us. They're massively increasing their investments in
I think
scientific
they've already
research
succeeded in
because they
doing
know
that.
if they get ahead of us on quantum computing, all of our subs can be located. And God knows what could happen. They could.
So did we win?
Cryptology they could break. They know if they
I
get
don't
ahead of
think
us
we
on
have.
scientific research, the power and advantage.
Definitely have
So
not.
they're doubling down. But what are we doing in America? We're tolerating a president that is cutting the funding.
Mine
That
is
will
GF.
predict who defines the future and what values will
Let
define
me.
those futures.
Yeah.
Will it be democratic values?
Unfortunate how stupid time is, but 2 is about to die, so best speed this up.
And then the final reason that question bothers me is because my father died.
Maybe because.
He had Parkinson's-related dementia.
Maybe because 11 was too
I
busy
know what
throwing
that's like.
the
I know the
game.
pain families are enduring. I remember the time that my dad and my mom, we were in the movie theater, and my mother just shook my world. She was in Georgia.
Shut my what? Yeah.
So many people here in this room have had the same experience.
I'm so rude, bro. I apologize for that.
You need to take your dad to the bathroom.
Yeah, I don't think you should be talking about the bathroom right now, especially given your circumstances.
My dad, as a 2-year-old and 3-year-old, taking me to the bathroom, that one day I'd have to take him. And so in this Atlanta movie theater, in the middle of a movie, which I was like, okay, it's time for me to do
It
this.
depends on the movie. If it was like Die Hard or something, then yeah, you better sit your ass in that seat. But if it's something like the Emoji Movie, then yeah, you could, like, yo.
And then we get to a public bathroom. His hands
Go
are
take a
shaking,
dump
he's
real
standing in front of
quick.
the urinal,
Shoot,
and then
do
I
it on the
realize
freaking movie projector.
I gotta unbuckle this man's pants.
Buckle your pants. Buckle your pants. Hey, I said dance.
Woohoo! Wait a minute, I'm in a public bathroom, leaning over, I'm buckling another man's pants. Please, please, God, don't let somebody come in. And as if God heard my call, someone walked in. And I hear the person walk, and
God
like,
hates you.
Walking. Go into a stall, please keep walking. And then suddenly I hear the feet walk past me and stop. And then the man turns around.
And then he had a chainsaw. Blah!
And then I look up at my dad, and I see the clarity in his eyes. He is 100% there, and he's grinning and loving my mortified embarrassment.
That is pretty funny.
Alzheimer's?
Sucks. Alzheimer's stuff. I mean, sucks. I don't know anybody who has it, but my God. Oh wait, never mind. My grandfather has Alzheimer's.
So forget the separation of powers. It's important. So important. If that doesn't get you, then maybe think about the competition with China.
I mean, if it doesn't, then that kind of makes you a psychopath. Well, not a psychopath, but
millions of Americans struggling with Alzheimer's.
Probably someone who just doesn't give a crap for one reason or another. But anyway, let's hop into the next game.
This is going to define the character of our country for years and years to come. Has the Senate called a hearing on your bipartisan funding?
Let's buy some stuff.
We've done our oversight responsibility. Have we checked, as I read from the Federalist Papers, as our founders
Who shall I buy?
Is to check
I mean,
the executive.
I won't actually use them, but
our governmental powers. No, we're not checking that executive. With Signalgate, I have heard from Republicans.
I'll buy one house. Hey, maybe I'll buy a map.
Other colleagues here have heard.
My apologies. I don't think maps actually mean anything.
About that. And again, it's not partisan.
I mean,
the Biden administration made
I might buy one map.
Obama made foreign policy mistakes.
But I only have enough. I don't even have enough. I only have enough to like buy a house, I think. Yeah. I only have enough to buy a house and a person. So I gotta make this count. So the house I will buy is.
People says, well, Biden did it. No, you should be a leader of character that says there's something wrong here, and in fact, it could point to real problems in the national security of our country and the laws that we established. One of those laws is very simple. You're supposed to
I like
preserve
the drop
records.
ship. I
How
like
can a
that.
signal chain that disappears
Probably next up is
not
Grave
be a
Mistake.
violation of the law of this land? Is there a hearing on that?
And the person who I
Head of
will
the
buy
Anti Commission, not a hearing
is.
at all. Where are the checks and balances spelled out in the Constitution?
Man, they really let this game go.
We are derelict in
Remember
our
when
duties
these
here,
characters are
Michelle.
like only available by
We
town
really
points?
are.
I do.
And the consequences of that is the very national security of our country. How many times
Kind of
do
like
you think this is the
Nosferatu
first time they created
and
a single
War
check?
Torn Sansa.
Or is this a pattern of practice? You're
I
a
like
really rational man. I keep
Wani
looking at you,
Thorn,
Mark.
Tamer of Frost, Tamer of Flames, Tamer of Thunder.
You're my leader on these issues.
I like Forgetful Freddy.
Jack Reed. No,
But I
this
think
indicates
that the
a real
one I will
problem,
go
and the Senate,
for
the United States Senate should
is
get to the bottom of it.
War Torn Santa. No, do not go to the bathroom. Man,
This is
I sound
moral
like
moment.
a
I keep
piece
saying
of crap.
It's a moral moment. Who are
I
we gonna
sound
be?
like a
What's
piece of
gonna
crap.
define us? And it's time not for the typical
Oh.
tribalism. It's time for leaders to start standing up and saying, you know what?
I just
We
think
can
that,
go a
like,
different way. We can
you know,
imagine a different
he's
country.
probably going
That's why
to
I pointed out
give in
the new leader of the
anytime
Democratic
soon.
Party on the House side. We're a different generation. There's
Wait
a
a minute,
rising
let's try our new house.
generation of people. I've talked about my friend who wrote this great book, Abundance.
Let us try
There's a
our
whole bunch
new
of
abode.
ideas out there that are about the future, about the possibilities, about the hope, about the greatness of America, not the greatness
Legacy
that is
bronze.
braggadocious, not the greatness that says I'm
That
better
is
than
pretty
you,
rare.
not the greatness that says
But it also kind of means that we're
only I
trash.
can fix things. That's what America
I think on my old
wants.
account,
We want an
on my
America that
old
says
account,
we the people. An America that says e pluribus unum. An America says that our history shows that rugged individualism
dude, what is it doing?
and self-reliance are important values, but
It really
rugged
does not
individualism
want
didn't
to,
beat the Nazis. It
It
didn't take
really
us to the
does
moon.
not want to,
We did that together, America.
thingamabob.
We need bigger visions that can unite us beyond our narrow partisan divides to get a real mandate. And you know what a real
Dude,
mandate
what
should
is
be?
going on?
Should be government efficiency.
Why hasn't it updated?
It really should be. God, I have heard from
Dude,
so
am
many
I the
friends
only
on this
one
side of the
seeing
aisle that
this?
said
Like, am I
if they
going
formed a
crazy?
commission of former executives
Oh,
of
I
this
think
body,
they have
see,
to,
Matty Hassan, it was hard, but I had to cut 24% of my budget.
Bro, what is
1 out of
going
4
on?
employees. It's
Why
really
couldn't I
hard.
see it?
It caused a lot of pain, but we had to reduce my government. There are a lot of people here that are
Alright,
executives
so
on both
my
sides of the
role
aisle
this
that would've
time
said,
will
"Pick
be
me,
don't
pick
be
me. Let's
mafia,
form
don't
the
be
most
mafia.
exciting team
Ah,
possible." Because
I'm
Jack
not
Reed
crazy
knows
about
all
meta
the
because it means
military
I
in the
actually
United
have to
States of America
focus
can do
on the
things more
game.
efficiently.
But,
A little bit of waste over there because they haven't passed an audit.
whatever.
There's Mayor Cantwell, Commerce Committee. So many ideas
What
about how to create
freaking
profit
ever.
centers in the American government. You have talked to me about them. You're brilliant on some of these ideas. I look around here, but I could look to the other side of the aisle. The farmer sitting over there, the guy who's been so good to me, Chuck Grassley. I forced that man to hug me when we passed. I forced you to hug me, sir. I have pictures. Can't deny it. I don't know how you're going to get reelected now, sir. You hugged this dude, black dude from New Jersey. You're so sweet to me still. We passed a big bipartisan bill because people like him, like the presiding officer, I've met with you, you still have big ideas. You still have big ideas that aren't partisan. If President Trump, from his inaugural address to his first speech before a joint session of Congress said enough,
Kind of.
there are big ideas in this country. I want the best. I want people to come together. I'm tired of us talking down at each other. It's time for us to come together and imagine ways to create real abundance in America for all Americans. I trust the genius of America, the kindness.
Oh wait, this person's a troll.
This president doesn't do that. He violates all of our common senses of decency. And don't say it doesn't happen, folks. Don't say that. I listen to him. I listen to how he talks about people.
Alright, so 5 is. Let's get a roll from 5.
That isn't ask not what your country can do for
Excuse
you,
me.
what you can do for your country. We have a country now where a president says, ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for Donald Trump.
61 edits in the last 2 days.
Who gets the special
Dead
treatment?
ass.
Some
Dude,
workers
he better go for
are
25
really
hours, because if he
threatened right
don't,
now
hey,
with
we got
being
problems.
bankrupted by Donald Trump targeting them. Others have decided a different path. I'm not hating on them, but they said
The
we're going to
page
go to
is
Trump, and
protected
we're going to
because
offer,
a
we're going to
crap
meet
ton
with
of
him.
people are in
Tens
here
of
right now.
millions of
Oh
dollars
wait,
in
no,
free
it's because
pro
I got
bono
logged
work.
out.
I wish they would bring
That's
some of that free pro
unfortunate.
bono work to Newark, New Jersey. A lot of people who need lawyers. Folks in
That's
my
funny.
city.
All right, but anyway, back to
What are the standards
the
here of our
game.
government? You want a merger? Well, maybe you should
we'll vote
put a lot
5.
of money in Donald Trump's meme coin.
What the heck is going on?
I read the
Oh,
document.
are they
There's something
BM?
word called emoluments.
No, they're not. They're not BM. What is going
And we
on?
sit by and act like, oh, no big deal. He's made millions and millions of dollars from who we don't know. We haven't held one hearing of oversight.
No
to
one
know
is
who
voting 7
getting
because
millions
he's
of dollars
mafia.
from the
Yeah, after that
military.
crap
Is
you
it
pulled
the
last
Turks?
game,
Is it
nah,
the
bro.
Saudis?
I don't
Is it
trust
the
you.
Chinese? Is
I'm
it the
framed
Russian
in one.
oligarchs?
Dude, you're not claiming a role.
Do we know? Should we know?
This is evil 100%.
Yes, America.
No.
Stop falling into tribal lanes
Hard
and
pushing the
closing your
TP
eyes to
claim.
things that should not
If you
be
claim
normalized.
TP, oh, they
Why
did
are
claim
we
TP.
normalizing these things? They're wrong. They're patently on the face
One
of it
for
is
one.
wrong. If you use signal to
It's an
discuss
X
a
play.
military attack, the
There we
time
know.
of the attack, the weapons that are going to be used, and you do it on a commercial app and decide to include a reporter, there should be accountability. Am I crazy?
Of course, they wasted all of that time. Well, the jailer best make the best.
Just remind you, expressions of approval and disapproval are not permitted by the gallery. Thank you.
What?
He was forced to say that.
Someone clapped anyway. Someone clapped anyway. Yeah, dude, they go out of their way to make anything not fun, bro.
On the President of the United States. The Senate and the House should not allow business as usual in this moment. When the President is insisting that no one has the power to check and balance him.
He's still going.
When a judge does it, when a judge decides
Yeah, he's still
on
going.
legal observations to have a ruling.
John Fork.
And then the President of the United States
Oh wow, another
like
doctor. And if the next person who died is Tom, then I'm afraid that we've lost. Dude, no, screw you. I'm not claiming shit.
That's not a question of left or right. That's a question of right or wrong. We're normalizing this behavior. We're letting him do things that Republicans and Democrats should say together are wrong.
Oh, never mind. We still have a chance.
So I want to say I'm going to stop soon.
Well, for a question.
What? Wait, what? He's stopping soon?
God bless
Good.
you.
Good, because if he was stopping altogether, now we would have problems.
For a question while remaining.
While retaining the floor. Good, because if you said while remaining the floor, your ass would have been out of there.
Before I get to my question, with just saying how proud I am, how proud we all are of you. And I think I'm old enough to remember Strom Thurmond's filibuster.
5 appeared sus.
I can remember being in high school and seeing the news.
This whole town is just absolute.
Because they were filibustering the Civil Rights Bill. And what I'm proud of is that your focus on democracy and the opportunities that democracy opens up for all of our rights, in my mind, cancels out what Strom Thurmond did to prevent African Americans and others from getting the rights they deserve in this country.
W.
So I'm proud of that.
Yeah, keep clapping. No, forget what the other person said. Keep clapping.
But I really want to, you talked earlier this afternoon about the rule of law.
What is this town doing, bro?
And as part of
now
that,
we got a
freaking
freaking
of agencies that Congress had established that this president is trying to.
This town is high, bro.
And I just wanted to point
this
out
town is high.
You mentioned this earlier. One of those agencies that Congress established is the U.S. Agency for International Development. And earlier today, we had a shadow hearing roundtable, the Democrats on the Foreign Relations Committee. It was on the dangerous consequences
Hey
of
now,
funding
you're an
cuts to
all-star.
U.S.
Get your
global
game
health
on.
programs.
I don't know why I'm seeing
And I
that.
know that as ranking member on the subcommittee on
But,
Africa and global health policy,
I need to
you would
check
have
for
really
someone
been
who's
interested in
quiet.
this. I'm
Dude,
glad you were
what
here
the
on
hell,
the
bro?
floor, but I wish you could have heard
I
what
get
we
that it's
heard from the people
difficult
that
for
testified.
the jailer because this
We
town is
heard from
absolutely freaking
Atul
garbage.
Gawande,
But
who
oh
used
my
to be the
god.
administrator of
Also, one was
USAID
probably
and
legitimate
global
sheriff,
health programs.
which doesn't help.
We heard from Dan Schwartz, who is the vice president and
Alright,
management
so one was
scientist for
legitimate
health
sheriff, so
Service,
Five's
who
ass
is
is
a
out of here.
contractor that works on global health programs. And
Alright,
we
cool.
heard from Nick Enrich, who's the former assistant
Alright, cool.
administrator for global health at USAID. And they started out by talking about what global health has accomplished through USAID.
I don't know why I voted
PEPFAR has
in on
saved more
5.
than
I guess I'm an
26
idiot.
million lives.
Oh well.
It's reversed the spread of HIV/AIDS. They've done malaria prevention and control for over 500 million people.
Oh,
They've eradicated
jailer was saying it the
smallpox
whole
and
time.
eliminated most of
Why
the
didn't you
polio.
execute them
They've
though?
reduced infant mortality by more than 59% since 1990. They've supported cholera, measles, and Ebola outbreak response. And one of the things Dr. Gawande pointed out is that they took the response to Ebola outbreak from 2 weeks. Many of us remember that during the Obama administration when Ebola was coming to the United States. They took that response from 2 weeks down to 24 to 48 hours to be in there to be responding to the Ebola epidemic. And what has this president done? What has Elon Musk and Doge done? They've gone in to USAID. They've cut the global health workforce from over 800 to about 60.
Medium reveals that.
They've taken the
So
system
then
that
they
was
get
designed
executed.
to make programs more efficient, and they dismantled it. And when the Inspector General Paul Martin reported on food rotting in ports, he was fired. USAID has been the largest civilian ground force to address global goals. As Dr. Gawande said, what we learned from USAID is that prevention is a whole lot more efficient and a lot cheaper than emergency treatment. He said that what we spend on global health through USAID has been $9 a household in America in a year. $9. Think about what we've done with that $9. And as they were going through the litany of programs that have been cut, the one that caught my eye was 75% of the pandemic threat comes from diseases jumping from animals to humans.
Alright, so I'm not joking. So I think either the werewolf gets executed or jailer is. Either way, I'm screwed. But
and the overreach
that
of
is
this
my
president.
100%.
Would you agree with me that there has been no
Regardless.
consultation with Congress about any effort to move USAID into the Department of State, and that because Congress created this agency, Congress has got to be involved in reauthorizing whatever comes next?
So
and that
the werewolf
this
dies.
president and his Doge boys need to understand that before they take any more steps at USAID?
Yes. You and I both know that in a bipartisan way, we created some of these programs principally to keep America safe. Many of us remember that dramatic hearing where Trump's Secretary of Defense, James Mattis, sat before the American people when they were discussing the budgets for USAID and the State Department.
God.
And John Mattis knew the power of those programs to keep us safe. You mentioned infectious diseases. Well, we live in a world where infectious disease anywhere is a threat to public health everywhere. So pulling our scientists out of the fight against Ebola, pulling our scientists out of
My God.
drug-resistant tuberculosis fights, it makes no sense. And then, in terms of our safety, he just simply said, if you cut these programs, buy me more bullets, because our fights to spread democracy. There are nations in Africa, for example, where the Chinese are trying to influence a different way of life. That's why so many
What? No.
African countries now won't criticize China for things that the rest of the world say are bad, because they owe them so much debt, they're so engaged, they're so overplaying the fact.
Dude, Five is
Coons
such a
said
loser.
something, I think it was Chris Coons said something painful earlier.
Oh, they was witch.
This horrific thing. America,
Oh.
the most generous country
Okay.
on the planet, when there's a crisis,
Nah.
we lead the rest. I've sat in meetings in a
Witch.
bipartisan way with ambassadors from other countries where we had the moral authority to tell them, you're not doing enough.
I wasn't even jailed.
The Myanmar crisis right now,
I wasn't even jailed.
as Chris Coons said, who's standing there? Not Americans. We don't have the capacity anymore to help.
Stupid ass.
A horrific crisis like that, but the Chinese government's there.
This town was horrendous. This town was
It's
absolutely
what defines
horrendous.
us. I keep saying this is not a left-right moment. This is a moral moment, and we tell our truth with what we do with our resources. And here's the thing. When you poll people and ask them how much money you spend on USAID, they say, oh, it must be 10% of the American budget. It must be 5% of the American budget. It's around 1% or less. A penny of what tax dollars you send down to Washington goes to help us make sure that around the globe we're countering the hard power of some countries with the power of our light and our soft power. We have been the envy of the world, where people see and know how special America is, because we live the value of every major religion, that we're going to love our neighbors, we're going to be there for you in your times of need. And we all know, with a terrorist group from far away to the most horrific attack, that in a lot of these countries, terrorist groups are trying to counter the democratic governments there. Look in the Sahel region. Look what's happening. When I was in Nigeria, I was shocked to say what they're talking about: instabilities in the north, the threats of terrorism in the north. I'm going to go for 7 more minutes and stop, but I want to use these last 7 minutes to return one more time to the people of my state and actually other states who demanded we do things different, who asked for help. Before I do, I just want to thank Mike Lee today. He's my partner in antitrust, a specialty of my friend Amy Klobuchar. And I don't know if you got my text, but you got it, where I said to you, I'm kind of going to the floor to hold it for as long as I can. And I may not make our first subcommittee together on antitrust, where we have a lot of common ground. So I'm sorry I missed it today. I know you'll fill me in, but I know my friend filled in. Thank you. So I want to close back where we started, about us, about why I'm here. I believe that there is an urgent crisis in our country that we are not talking about. It's not a left-right crisis, it's a right-wrong crisis. It's a moral moment, and again, in America, that's going to define our character, about who we are and what we stand for. There's a threat to the bedrock commitments we've made to each other as a country. People are threatening that bedrock commitment of Social Security. They're calling it a Ponzi scheme. They're making up absolute lies about it. When I read American after American who said that that is their lifeline, they told stories that if they don't get their Social Security payment, or they get caught up because nobody's answering their calls, if the rural Social Security office, I read states, red and blue, where they're closing Social Security offices, if I now have to drive not 100 miles, but 150 miles at 93 years old, it doesn't quite make sense. One of my colleagues stood up here and said, that's already cutting benefits if you can't access the folks. I stood here because there's a threat to these bedrock commitments. The bedrock commitment we've made in healthcare in this country. We won the defense of the Affordable Care Act, but my colleagues know when you start talking about Medicaid, that's not 20+ million Americans. It's 70, 80, 90 million Americans. It's our elders in nursing homes. It's our children with disabilities. It's our moms giving birth. that are still giving birth in the country with about the highest maternal mortality rates in the industrial world. It's a moral moment. Who do we stand for? Like, Schumer shocked me when he said they're going to use some kind of budget gimmick to push this through. He shocked me, Chuck. I thought this was going to come down to the parliamentarian, but it doesn't sound like it. Now it's just going to get done. With the math, and I read from Manhattan Institute criticized it on the right. AEI criticized it on the right. They said, what are you doing? What are you doing, America? You're going to rake up trillions and trillions of dollars in debt that our children and our children's children are going to have to pay for, passing the bucks that will grow. Are you doing that to help people get more access to health care, more access to retirement security, more access
Oh, well, I'm back.
to the things we believe in? Big ideas like universal child care, paid family leave. No, we're doing that in order to renew the tax cuts that I read. Conservative budget folks, moderate budget folks, all across the spectrum who said it will blow up our deficit. And the benefits of those tax cuts.
Go to 26 hours. You can do another hour. You can do another hour.
Most will go to the richest people in our country.
You can do another hour.
I celebrate people who've brought their ingenuity and their expertise and their grit and their tireless work who've built wealth in this country. Should not be us versus them, but I'm telling you that those folks do not need another tax cut. And the corporations who came here, you all remember, said
Bro is taking all his time. Bro is like, dude, this is everything you need to do. I know you're not going to do it, but this is what's a fundamental human right.
One of the main reasons it exploded our debt, and we read from conservative groups who just said all these promises that we would grow our way out of our deficit, they didn't materialize. All the promises that
Pizza.
were made.
Guys, look at me. I'm
Trump,
cutting a
for those
pizza
who don't
slice.
remember, weren't here when I read it, was going around telling folks that, oh, my tariffs, this is 2017, my tariffs, the money that I get, that will be what we could pay down the debt. The math that they did was that would account for about 1/750th of the debt at that time. But he used that money to try to compensate the farmers that he was hurting with his tariffs.
Now, was he?
This is a moral moment, and people are getting hurt, and people are afraid because of the threats to Medicaid cuts. There were people writing in and said $880 billion would devastate me, but even small cuts to services, my
Well,
whole
unsurprisingly, we lost.
architecture of our finances.
That was
If you just pull out the
possibly the
transportation
worst.
money that my disabled child uses, that will crumble my financial world. And so when you talk about the bigger cuts, we know the math.
Oh.
Many states who expanded Medicare
That's not
have
nice.
a trigger that if it goes below 90%,
But you get used to it.
expansion goes off in that state, and millions of Americans will be hurt. That's not right, guys. That's not right. And so this is the choices we have before us. Our veterans and the VA. I'm mad at you now. You made me get very emotional with your story. We read John McCain's story. We read the stories of the poems of the unknown soldier looking over us and saying, what are you doing to the Gold Star families? What are you doing to the veterans? Are you living up to your promises that you made? Well, right now, with the cuts
I'm
of
the
tens of
town
thousands,
loser.
8,000 veterans who work for the VA, but even more because about 20% or so of all federal workers are veterans. And we read stories from veterans in America who are shaken by what's happening, who are losing their jobs but yet all they want to do is serve. They're not what they're being called. They're not leeches. They're not criminals. They shouldn't be degraded for wanting to continue to serve their nation. This is what we're talking about. Our veterans.
How is he actually still going?
Our financial security going forward.
Like, I know he's a politician, so chances are I don't get much sleep, but are you serious? I can't believe he's still going.
I asked you, look at your financial self. Are you better off than you were 72 years ago financially? Well, the answer for most people who believed in him is no, because he didn't set out to do anything to lower prices. He set out to rename the Gulf of Mexico, to threaten Canada, to say I'm going to take over Greenland. He's done a lot of things, 140 executive orders. Many of them actually drive up your costs, make it more expensive to enroll in the ACA, reduce a lot of the tax credits there. He's increased your costs, he's taxed your bedrock services, Stock
Of
market
course.
tumbles, your 401k.
Well, I'm
costs
going
less,
on the first person.
Inflation is up. Consumer confidence is down.
Oh, fine.
This is what the voices we brought into this chamber, the voices of our constituents, red states, blue states, the voices of Democrats and Republicans, Republican governors, Democratic governors. We brought all the people that are saying, no, this is a moral moment, not left or right, right or wrong. So I've tried
Okay.
over the last 25 hours and 1 minute
Bro, it's still counting, bro.
to center the conversation back on what will we do of good conscience.
We will do absolutely nothing. There's
People who are
20.
saying, I
Well,
serve this country, I risk
I'm
my
not
life,
gonna be a
shouldn't be able to
jack
keep my
on
job.
say,
People are
oh,
saying,
well, you
this
wasted these
country wants
because
to
he
leave
hasn't
itself
wasted
the
these
envy of
25
the world
hours.
because we invested
People
in
are
high quality
listening.
education for
I
every
just
child.
don't think
I don't like what's going
a
on.
lot of people care,
At the end of the Department
unfortunately.
of Education,
They're just
people
there
are
to
saying,
say
I
that they
work
was
harder
there
than
for
I
the
ever have.
filibuster
Prices on
record.
everything in my life are getting higher. People who are saying that the America I learned about in school, the one where people's rights are protected, the people are saying that why are we yet again going through
By
a
the way,
healthcare battle? that
this
threatens
was
millions of
the
people.
one
People are saying that I'm worried about
senator
the financial security
from,
and the future of my country. The
well, no,
voices of
not
folks.
senator, representative
And so I end by
from
saying simply this.
Mr. Beats video
Where I
that
started
actually
was
was,
John Lewis.
well, not the
I don't know
others
how to solve
representatives
this. I
did
don't know how
respond,
to
but he was
stop
the
us
only
from
one that
going
sent a
down this road.
video
Chuck Schumer's
and
not told
actually
me that
discussed
they're greasing the
the
skids to do
issues
these things.
that
I'm
Mr.
sorry,
Beat wanted to address. So I
but I know
respect him
who
even
does
more
have the
for
power.
that.
The people of the United States of America.
I
The
respect
power of the people
Cory
is greater
Booker
than the people in
a lot.
power. It is time to heed the words of the man I began this whole thing with, John Lewis. I beg
John
folks
Lewis the GOAT.
to take his example.
Every single time he
Early
says John
days,
Lewis, I'm just going to say the
when he
GOAT.
made himself determined to show his love for his country at a time the country didn't love him, to love this country so much, to be such a patriot that he endured beatings savagely on the Edmund Pettus Bridge, at lunch counters, on freedom rides. He said he had to do something. He would not normalize a moment like this. He would not just go along with business as usual. He wouldn't know how to solve it. But there's one thing that he would do that I hope we all can do that I think I did a little bit of tonight.
No, don't give up. I mean, don't stop the filibuster.
He said for us to go out and cause some good trouble, necessary trouble, to redeem the soul of our nation. I want you to redeem the dream. Let's be bold in America, not demean and degrade Americans, not divide us against each other. Let's be
That
bold
is
in
100%
America.
what we're doing
It's a
right
vision
now.
that
We do
inspires
not care.
with hope. It starts
I
with
blame the
people
internet.
of the United States of America. That's how this country started. We, the people. Let's get back to the ideals that others are threatening. Let's get back to our founding documents, that those imperfect geniuses had some very special words at the end of the Declaration of Independence. It was one of the greatest in all of humanity declarations of interdependence. And our founder said we must mutually pledge to each other our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor. We need that now from all Americans. This is a moral moment. It's not left or right, it's right or wrong.
Oh shit, I forgot. 5 Atlas.
Let's get in good trouble. My friend, Madam President, I yield the floor.
No, whoa, that was crazy. They had to muffle it. That's how loud the room was. That's crazy. Did Mr. B get this? Yes, he did. Bro, I bet you bro skirted out of there as fast as possible. Bro was like, nah, take me to the nearest bathroom. Nah, I don't care if the person in there is eating Taco Bell. Get me in there.
Madam President! Madam President! Thank you to the pages. Thank you to the parliamentarian
Oh,
staff.
he's still
Thank
going.
you to the clerks.
Well,
Thank
not
you to
really.
the doorkeepers. There are so many people that make this place special. I kept you up all night.
Yeah,
hours. I just want
you
to say
did.
thank you. Thank you, everybody.
24 hours. Bro, it's so loud that the auto muffler is going ham on that. It was going ham for like a good minute.
Madam President. Madam President.
Senator from Idaho.
Madam President, this next regular order of business, confirmation of Mr. Matthew Whitaker.
Order in the Senate, please. Order in the galleries.
Well, there you go.
Madam President,
There you
is the next
Yeah.
regular order of business confirmation of Mr. Matthew Whitaker to be ambassador to NATO? So that's the next order of business.
There you go. It's not going anymore.
It is.
Thank you. I'd ask unanimous consent that myself and the senator from Iowa be permitted to speak each 3 minutes, and
There you go.
immediately upon conclusion of that, we proceed to the vote on the confirmation.
Without objection,
I yield the floor to the
Nope,
senator
I
from
ain't
Iowa.
going anymore.
there will be order in the
It is
Senate.
over. It's over.
There will be order in the
25
Senate.
hours and 5 minutes. Order. No, you gotta say it like this.
Senators
Order.
and visitors
Order.
will take their conversations out of the chamber.
Look at everybody. Yeah, because screw
Senator
Strom
from Iowa.
Thurmond. He was a violent,
Excuse me,
racist
Iowa.
person.
Thank you, Madam President. And today I rise in support of the confirmation of Matt Whitaker to serve as the next United States ambassador to NATO. Matt is not only a proud Iowan, he is a dedicated public servant, an accomplished leader,
That's how you know.
a loving father, and a very, very dear friend. Matt was honorably served. He has honorably served our state and our country as the U.S.
Has
Attorney
Trump
for the
responded
7th
to
District of
Cory
Iowa,
Booker's
in
filibuster?
private practice,
I don't think he
and most
has.
recently as the former acting Attorney General of the United States.
Will the gentlewoman yield?
Yes, I will, Madam President.
The Senate will be in order.
Matthew Whitaker.
Please, senators.
I like how
Take
they
your conversations
immediately
off the
got
floor.
what's his name in there, like right after Booker was done. It was kind of like, finally, Booker is done. All right, let's get you in there.
Iowa may proceed.
Thank you, Madam President. Matt and I first crossed paths during the 2014 U.S. Senate primary inIowa. What began
Booker's
as a
done. Let's get back to the story.
into a mutual respect and ultimately a strong friendship.
This is the comment of the night.
Since 2014,
This is
Matt
the comment
has
of the
supported me in countless ways, offering wise counsel and keen insight on the issues facing our state, nation, and our world today. While some may just brush
Oh,
it
Miss is
off
back.
as Iowa nice,
Oh no, that's
I
Nick
believe this
Gizmo.
is a clear demonstration of Matt's character. He's willing
Damn.
to put differences aside,
God
strengthen
damn.
relationships, and put our country over politics. Over the last few years, during exchanges with NATO allies, a consistent theme emerged: the need for American leadership, a willingness to speak hard
Oh.
truths and encourage
Oh
our
no, I
partners to
forgot.
step up.
Whoops. Oh
Matt's
wait, no.
experience has
All right.
prepared him for
Now I have an
this
excuse.
aspect of the job. With decades of law enforcement experience and having
Dude,
served
I've
as
been
acting Attorney
AFK.
General, Matt has successfully collaborated across many organizations
telling me?
and jurisdictions. He understands the evolving threats our nation and our allies face, from terrorism to cyber warfare to transnational crime.
Transnational
His experiences
crime.
navigating complex security challenges will make him an asset to NATO and a force for strengthening our alliances. Matt Whitaker is a principled leader with a
You are
proven
useless
track record.
now. You
Under
have no
President
use.
Trump's peace through strength approach, I have no doubt that Matt will be an effective advocate
Okay.
for America's.
Let's quiet that down.
Yeah, let's quiet that
25
shit
hours
down.
and 6 minutes. 25 hours and 5 minutes, roughly. That was
Good
Cory
town.
Booker's new record for the longest speech in the history of the U.S. Senate. Look, this is a big deal. Not because I think anything is going to materially change from yesterday to today by virtue of the fact that he did this, but I have been here begging and pleading for Democrats to do something to change the way that they operate in terms of how to break through in this media environment, how to
No,
make
you
sure that
aren't,
people
bro.
are paying attention, how to give people
Check the
some
jailer as
sense
well.
that we have folks that are worth following.
Wow.
And largely Democrats
Check the
have been
lookouts as well.
failing at meeting that moment. And I think what we
What
saw
team
from
wasn't
Cory
on
Booker
Jailer
today
Night 1?
is that even though he can't pass legislation, even though he can't block legislation, even though there's really very little Democrats can do to wield any power from the minority, this guy put
What the
his
freak
body on
happened?
the line,
Whoops.
stood up there for 25 hours. If I
Whoopsie
spent 25 hours
daisy.
unexhausted, and God knows what happens if I try not to pee
Dude,
for 5 hours, but this guy put his entire
I
body
definitely
on the
could have
line
been,
and stood for 25 hours because
I
that's how you
definitely
break
could have been
through in
hung
this
there.
media
I'm not
environment.
sure why I
And again,
wasn't.
it doesn't mean that he's going to materially change something from yesterday to today. It doesn't mean he's going to be able to block Trump's agenda, but he was able to break through, garner some sense of hope and inspiration from a
He
Democratic
was.
base that is
He
desperate
definitely
for some
did.
leadership, and he was able to
Seriously,
capitalize
the
on that
Democratic
because
Party is
he thought
falling
outside
apart.
the box and was willing
So,
to put his entire body
this is
on the
good.
line and stand up there for over 30
Yeah, bro is
people
gonna.
and
Bro
deliver
is
some
going
messages
to
that are going to break
go to the
through
bathroom
in a
and then
much
he's
different
gonna
way
be
than had he just decided to do
freaking
it in
chilling
a
on the
speech
bed
in
all
15
night.
minutes,
I
put some
guarantee
clips
you
on
that.
Twitter, put some clips on YouTube, and hope that they go viral. Hope that they
Nah,
get a
this
couple
shit ain't going
thousand
viral.
likes, a couple tens of thousands of views, and call it a day. The
Yeah,
reality
I'm
is that
calling
we
it a
have
day
to
after
think
this stream.
about this moment differently than how we've been thinking about it before.
What?
And largely, we haven't been able to be successful at that. And I think
What are you
that
talking
now,
about?
seeing Cory Booker speak for 25 hours, seeing Bernie and AOC
Put his
and
bowel
all of
movements
these other
on the line.
Democratic officials join them in their Stop Oligarchy tour, and recognizing that if you want people to pay attention, you have to give them something to pay attention to, recognizing that that is the principle by which we have to operate moving forward, that's going to change things in this media environment, which is what we need. And the reality is that what I hope the message is for these people who serve with Cory Booker in the Senate, who are Democratic.
They best get a freaking
lawmakers
inspiration
in the
from
House,
that
who
dude.
are candidates preparing to run for office, who are
Get inspiration from that dude,
Democrats
for
who
real.
represent their states and their districts and their legislative districts. I hope that they look at that and think not just, wow, that was a great accomplishment by Cory Booker, worthy of applause, but I hope that they think that is the bar. That is now the bar. And so what am I going to do?
You are not hopping that bar. You are not hopping that bar. Nope.
That's been set by these
Nope.
folks who recognize
Nobody
that
is
we as
hitting
a
that
country is
bar.
different
I'm
if we wanna
sorry.
break through in this media environment. If we want to break through against a Republican Party that is willing to do anything to consolidate power for themselves. And so I hope all of those people are thinking to themselves now, what can I do that's different? What can
Nothing.
I do that's
Literally,
going to
well,
make a difference,
actually
that's
make a
break through
difference.
in this
But,
media environment? And the reality
alright.
is
My
that if
name
they're
is
not
going to be
willing to do
quickly
something,
Cap.
if they're not willing to meet that bar that's been set by
Jailer,
Cory
come
Booker
out
and
day
Bernie
one.
and AOC
Stop
and all
claiming
of these other
Jailer day
elected
one
officials
unless
who
you
are
are
getting out
something
there,
else.
who are going and
And
doing
it's cool.
town
Dude,
halls in
this
deep
kid.
red Republican districts,
I
who are
tried
going
making
to
cheese out of
protests,
that
who are willing
good
to put
ones.
their
Let's
body
just
on
say
the
that's
line
the
and
day the cat
sacrifice
died.
everything, if they are not willing to meet that bar, then step
Wow.
aside and make room for somebody who will.
That's sad. Okay,
That's
so
what
I'm
I
the
hope is going to
bootlegger.
happen. And that's what I'm going to continue advocating for.
This is gonna be the last game of the
I'm
day,
not in
by
a
the way.
position where I just want to, where I'm going to just jump on Team Blue and blindly defend everybody who's in the Democratic Party just by virtue of the fact that they have a D next to their name. I want to see somebody who is
I
going to
agree.
be willing to get out there and fight. Going to be willing
I
to
agree.
go out there and be
100%.
a brawler. And if you're not going to be a brawler, at a moment where history requires a brawler, requires a fighter, then you have to step aside and make room for somebody who will. Because there are people out there who are vying for this fight. And that's what we need right now. So, good on Booker, again, for doing this. Thank you for everybody watching. We've been live streaming it since early this morning. We have almost 400,000 people who've watched this stream alone in total. I know that we have millions and millions and millions
Looks like that
more
stream is over.
who have watched this stream on other channels, who've watched this live. I don't know if mainstream media covered it, maybe the last couple hours of it. But in any case, good on him for doing that. And again, I hope that every other Democratic elected official
I
views
will
this
not
not just
roadblock
as
anybody.
a historic accomplishment, which it is, but views this as a challenge that they are willing to meet. This is Cory Booker laying down the gauntlet. This is him saying, this is what I was willing to do. What are you willing to do? And I hope every single Democrat internalizes that and thinks to themselves, to himself or herself, what am I going to do moving forward? How am I going to meet that bar? How am I going to go and fight for the people that are expecting me to fight? How am I going to change things from where they were before? How am I going to meet this moment in an environment where you have to do something different to be able to break through?
I honestly don't think it could be topped.
So those are the people that I will continue covering. Those are the people that I will give airtime to, that I will give a platform to, and I do hope that we will see more of that moving forward. Because the reality is that at this moment, in our country's history, it requires that. Okay. Thank you all for watching. I appreciate it. Thank you all for tuning in, especially the people who've been here since the very beginning. Really appreciate the stick-to-itiveness. If you are watching this right now and you haven't yet subscribed, please go ahead and do that. Great way to support my work, to support independent media, to support these live streams more broadly.
Dude, I'm telling you, Cory
Thank you again.
Booker
Appreciate you tuning in. Thanks to
100%
Booker.
feels like a
Grateful that
freaking
he,
G
really
right
spotted
now. He
everyone,
feels like a
and I hope that
boss.
he is
I
in
guarantee
the
you.
bathroom right
He is
now,
in the bathroom right
serving his
now.
biological needs. All right. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We'll talk to you next time.
My lord. Well, wait. What a way to put it. Ugh. Excuse me. Well, protest April 5th. What's going on April 5th? April 5th, anti-Trump protests in D.C. Interesting. Yeah, I would have done this. I would have done this, but I live too far away. And plus, I'm just now hearing of it. I'll give me a packet. Nah, bro. I take a speech over the packet. Speech over the packet, bro. Alright, so this is the final page. Adjusted position to the Democrat. Sam Forrest Burgess Everett assessed the speech as a juxtaposition to the Democratic Party's wait and see strategy. Ed Kilgore, a columnist for Intelligence, questioned the effectiveness of Booker's speech. Nah, bro, that shit was not stopping Trump. And it's not about stopping Trump. It's about. It's more than just stopping Trump. It's about, like, stopping all of the madness going on within this. He yielded to questions while retaining the floor. Dude, that's still stuck in my head. He's heard it so many times. He is not physically able anymore. I'm telling you. Well, he officially delivered the longest speech. Doo 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 doo. Don't mind me. New Jersey. New Jersey. And then they had this guy going like right after, which I find to be hilarious. And yeah, that's pretty much all the news we're gonna get. Do your job, Cory Booker. 9 Republicans, April Fools. Yeah, we try to run. Blah, blah, blah. Orange can vote remotely. The speakers shut the house down and cancel votes for the rest of the week. Interesting. Cool. Coolio though. Wow. Wow, really? Hey, Elon Musk kind of does look like Elmo. And his name also sounds like Elmo. Oh, I forgot about the game. Uh, nah, we're voting threes. Pass. Ha! Got me crazy. Oh, Reagan. Oh, Reagan. The fuck happened? We need to kill confirmed town. Well, if you voted up yesterday, then we would have gone 14, but you canceled your vote. You have 14. Shit, why not? Oh wait, whoops. Whoopsie daisy. 14 is dead, 14 is dead. Alright, and with serial killer out of here, we ain't got nothing to worry about. Alright, so 4v3 v1. And since that whole shabobble is over, I can unmute. Town on 8? Nah, I don't know about that, bro. As if I wasn't showing my screen this whole time. Oh shit. I mean, excuse me. Oh, we need to vote the mayor. Oh wait, no, vote the witch. What the hell? Who is the witch? Who is the witch? Oh my god. The cash for apps Discord. God damn it. Whoops. Vigilante says, "Screw you, screw you, mayor. Worst mayor ever." Not the mayor. Ah, the mayor. I mean, the witch did that. That's funny. That town was awful. Hey, I wasn't here. I was not here for most of it. So I'll just have to take your word for it. Yeah, no, you killed it, man. Keep it up. I almost DC night one because I hate Mafia, by the way. Well, you're my teammate, so I'm not gonna say it, but don't do that. Hey, maybe we'll win in the next. Nah. Hey, you might win, but shoot, I'm out of here. I'm still not calling it that. And that's the end of me. So, you saw it today. Cory Booker, new record holder. And in other news, I'm still not cracked at town of Salem, unfortunately.